Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video here, another pomade review in this case. Today we're actually going to be talking about REUZEL Pink, which is a heavy hold pomade. So REUZEL, if you know about pomades, these guys are pretty big. They're a barbershop out in Holland, I believe. I follow them on Instagram. I'll put a link from them. They're pretty cool. Their barbershop is like very unique and very rustic. I really like that about them. And I have tried a couple of their other products. So I was really interested to see kind of what their heavy hold was to offer. With that intro, let's go ahead and jump right into the close-up. So taking a closer look here at the container, we do see REUZEL's, which stands for lard, which is very creative. We see their simple, easy to recognize, same design they like to carry on all their pomades. The one thing, of course, at the same time is always easy to recognize which hold you're getting because the color changes. Everything else stays identical, but in this case, the pink would turn to green or blue, which again is genius because they make it really easy and really simple to differentiate it and also recognize it, which is really hard to do if you think about it when it comes to marketing. Number two is that the grease or dirt really works well for them. Really works in their favor because they're marketing it for maybe a blue collar market is what they're shooting for. But not only that is that they're also shooting it for people that want to feel like they're blue collar. The next thing is that it's a 4-ounce container, gives you definitely a good amount of pomade on there, pretty average on that. Now, the only things I do want to talk about is, and the negative standpoint is the actual container itself, the aluminum. It's very flimsy. It dents pretty easily. I mean, of course, you're not going to be throwing this around, hopefully, but in my experience, not only does it dent easy, but when it dents, the reason I have a problem with that is that when you try to close it back up, and if the shape is no longer there, it's really hard to close. And I actually had an instance where I basically closed it shut where I could not open it for the life of me. It was just done. So I had to actually take a blade, cut this out, take all the pomade out and put it in like a plastic like Tupperware, which which was sad to throw this container away. The next thing as well is that it seems like it's just like a sticker or vinyl on top of it. You can't really tell unless, for example, and I'm going to show you this just to prove a point. I haven't had this for a long time, but you see it starts peeling off after a really long time. That's the look of it. The inside, it's not spongy at all. The scent reminds me kind of a creamy lotion type of scent. The fragrance it's a very light version of what you would find in a lotion to me. So not a very manly scent. I'm very interested to see what the final result is going to be like, since again, this is just the first impression. So this is the closer look at REUZEL's heavy hold. Let's go ahead and start the application. I think we're good. So again, I just don't think I'm doing it justice. I think my hair would have looked better with, again, a fresh cut. It would have been a little bit better and you could have been able to see a better result on my hair. Let's get right to it. Let's start talking about the application. Well, taking it out of the jar for being heavy, it's pretty easy. Actually applying it to your hair, I would not say it's completely difficult. It's right before you start being annoyed from it. It's pretty easy, but it's not as easy, of course, as a water-based or some of the lighter medium pomades that are out there. In this case, you will feel a little bit of a tug, but nothing that you'll be complaining about. Hold, I would consider it a solid medium. At the weight, it is a heavyweight pomade. The scent, I'd say a 6. I'd give it a 5 if it was any stronger. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but a 6. I'm not a really big fan of it. I can tolerate it though. The shine, I'd say it's a nice medium shine. So what are my thoughts on greasy heavy hold? First, I wanted to say that I am actually really impressed. I do like the pomade. The hold is just what I expect from it. Gives you all the best things about having an oil-based pomade. It's very easy to restyle. I remember earlier on today when I was trying it out, heavy winds and my hair just flew apart. And as soon as I got in the car, I just ran my hands through my hair and everything was like nothing happened. If that would have happened with a water-based that that dries up in your hair. It wouldn't have had the same results. I would have to go back and do my hair and all that. Overall, it does give you all the great qualities about an oil-based pomade. Now, the next thing is that I did want to bring up is I did talk a little bit about the design, but overall I was just thinking about it. And first, I'm not a big fan of the design of the color. The design itself is amazing, but the color, I just don't feel like it goes with them. I get it, it's pink because it's a pig and, you know, kind of goes with that theme. You know, they're trying to give us the impression that, hey, this is for, you know, kind of that blue collar mechanic or a blue collar craftsman that, you know, it's just dirty and very manly, you know, but then yet it's pink. If you just get what I'm saying, it's just simply, if I leave this out, you know, people might not automatically, you know, think it's a manly pomade. The next part about that kind of goes along with that same thought process is the scent, which I looked up later on after I did my close-up, and it seems like it's bubblegum scent. And that's another thing that I was thinking of. It's like, okay, who thought about that? Like, I get it. There's a lot of pomades that do kind of interesting, weird scents, but a lot of those, if you think about it, are very like seasonal, right? They're not the flagship product that they try to sell year round. I wouldn't mind it as a seasonal or a one-off limited edition bubblegum scent, but they're trying to say that, hey, this is something that a craftsman or somebody, you know, that works with their hands is using, yet it smells like bubblegum. Like, who thought of that, right? It's like, yeah, let's make a man smell like bubblegum. That's my only thing, and I just wanted to get that negative out of its way. I feel like they just missed the mark just by a little bit. They had everything else really lined up, and just that little part there. But again, that's my rant for the day. I just wanted to get that out there. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the positive stuff, because now we actually get into the product. It's so easy to use. You get so much control in your hair and just what you want from it. It looks, I mean, even with my long hair right now, I mean, you can see the shine and it looks good. You know, so overall, do I like it or what do I think of it? Well, you know, other than my little rant there, just that the only part there of negativity, the product itself works amazing. And that's why I feel like they just missed the mark by a little bit, by a little tiny bit on that, because it could have been such an amazing product. Actually using the product, I'm really excited about it, because this, to me, I would recommend it as a weekend pomade in the sense that you can really get a great style out of it. Your hair is going to look amazing. You can expect your hair to stay a certain way for a long period of time. So if you're going out, you can trust this pomade. Next thing as well is, just like I mentioned earlier, if you mess up your hair, anything happens, you can just grab a comb and it slicks right back, and it even looks better than before. And even at the end of the day, your hair only feels softer. It doesn't feel greasy, which is another thing that I really like about it. So overall, the product itself works amazing. That's the only part that I'm angry about. They just had so much potential on making this such a great product, from the presentation all the way to the actual usage of it. In this case, at least, I want to say at least the usage part of it. That's really the most important part. But I'm big on scent, because I feel like your scent should complement. I did want to talk about value, but I might do another video just on maybe some value products. And if you want to hear about that, like the video, let me know. Thanks again for your patience. I am slowly growing the channel. You have some products lined up that I will be doing. I have been listening to some of your requests, and I have added those to the list as well. So please, again, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.